Everybody, and welcome back to, I don't really know what to call this video. This is technically a book update. As most of you will be aware, between the end of March and now, I have been on a bit of a reading spree, and today I thought I would just show you some of the books that are left on my shelf to be read. I have managed to get through, I think as of this point, I am at my 26th book, which is actually in front of me here that I'll talk you through in just a moment. But I do have a massive shelf behind me of books that I want to read, if you'll excuse the notebook and that. So I thought I'd give you a bit of a run through on some of the books I have on my shelf that I want to read, the book that I'm reading at the moment, and then a couple of books that I've recently picked up, some of which are on that shelf behind me. So first things first, let's get down to the one I'm currently reading. So as most of you may or may not know, I have been reading the Jess and Norma A Lifetime of Laughter and Our Unbreakable Bond. Now, as some of you will be aware, as of, I believe it was the start of June, Norma passed away at, I believe, 91, if I'm correct. And Jess and Norma had already pre-written this book ready for publication on the 17th of July. Now, I actually picked up my copy a couple of days after that because I had to wait for it to go into the shop. This is actually a signed copy because that is what I wanted to do. And because they've been such a massive inspiration on TikTok, I wanted to give it a read. Now, I am currently, I would say, nearly halfway through, and I've been really enjoying it because it's conversation style. There's been moments in this book that have been making me laugh, making me cry, you name it, it's happened, okay? But it's just one of those books that really kind of hits you, you know? Some of the things they say, they just hit you, and it's almost like you can hear Norma's voice when you read the book. So if you are looking for a book recommendation, I would really highly recommend the Jess and Norma book. You can buy it on Amazon. If I can find you links, I will make sure they are in the description. I will not be able to link every single book because there are lots of them, but if you are interested in any of the books, please feel free to drop me a message. I will drop me a comment. I will make sure to give you a link if I can find it. But this is definitely a highly recommended book for myself to suggest. Now I'm going to move on to the more recent purchases, and then I will go back to some of the other ones, just because I have a lot on the shelf behind me. So first things first, some of you may or may not know, I have watched the Bridgerton series on Netflix. I've watched majority of it, haven't watched all of it yet, but I thought I would compare it to the books. So I have the first book, which is Bridgerton, the Duke and I. This is one that I'm going to try and read potentially after the one I'm currently on, if not a bit further down the line, hence why it's on my shelf to be read. So I've got the Bridgerton Duke and I book, and then I've also picked up the second one, so The Viscount Who Loved Me, which was from eBay, I believe. Again, I do try and buy them from the charity shop. I believe the Duke and I was from the charity shops, but I am generally trying to pay charity shop prices at the moment. But I just thought it'd be quite handy to have both Bridgerton books ready to go. So that's those two. Brand new book, Lottie Brooks versus the Ultra Mean Girls. I have been enjoying this particular series. Bought the first book, I think, when we were going on holiday to Devon. Last time we went down sort of Devon area. But I just thought it's coming up to summer. By the time I probably read this, it's going to be winter at this point, but you never know. But again, Lottie Brooks, just a really good author, really interesting to get into. Katie Kirby, I say Lottie Brooks is a good author. She's a really good character. Katie Kirby especially is a really good author. Really been enjoying her books. So picked up that from Asda, I believe. These have still got the stickers on, so I can tell you how much these were. Diane Shan, Lord Loss. This was from the British Heart Foundation, as was this one, which is Demon Thief. They are something I have never imagined I would read, but I keep seeing these in the charity shop, and I'm like, maybe they're in the charity shop because they're not very good. Maybe they're in the charity shop because people have bought so many copies of them that they've got an overflow. Who knows? But I thought I'd give it a try. So these are kind of horror-y themed books. I did try the Richard Osman books. I don't have them here at the moment, but I did try the Thursday Murder Club book from Richard Osman. wasn't my cup of tea, but again, trying new things. So trying a bit of horror, you never know, might enjoy it, might not, but just thought I'd give it a go. I am going to have to start putting these on the floor because there's going to be too many to put on the chair. Right, here we go. So some of these you may recognise from previous video. Lemony Snicket. Now I am currently, I'm not sure if I read number 7 at this point or if I'm on number 7 after this. Vile Village, yes, I have read The Vile Village, so the next one I will be moving on to is The Hostile Hospital. So I have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13 on the shelf. I don't need to go into the full detail of those, but Lemony Snicket is one that I'm gradually making my way through. Again, switching it up a little bit by changing. Skullduggery Pleasant, I think I showed this in my last video. Derek Landy, again, another one I'm just going to try. I only have the first book, so if I don't enjoy it, I haven't spent any more money on the others. But again, just one that I thought I'd give it a go. What else have we got on here? Let's do some more. So, 2026, I've set myself a challenge of doing an A to Z reading. So, the first book by Christopher Paolini is called Eragon, and that is currently made it into the 2026 box. So I won't be reading this until I've read Eragon, but I have bought Eldest. This was £2 from TK Maxx. I thought £2 for a book was a bargain, to be completely honest. Again, this will be waiting until probably next year. I can't put it in the box because it begins with the same letter, because I'm going by title, not by author. So I can't put it in the box because it also starts with an E. But this will sit on the bookshelf until I've read Eragon. I then picked up, I can't remember if I've shown this one already. I've got Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I've got a few by Rainbow Rowell sat on the shelf. I've got Carry On and I've got Wayward Son. So I'm just going to try them. If I don't like them, they'll go back to wherever they need to go. So you can either give them to a charity shop, which is what I've been doing with some of them, or I have been selling them on We Buy Books. They don't give you a massive amount back, but it's better than nothing. So whatever they won't take on We Buy Books, I have a box that's literally to my right here, purely to go to the charity shop if they don't go on We Buy Books. So I'll be dropping off a load of books to the charity shop. So that is that one. I then have Jojo Moyes, the 1+1. I've got a few of hers. I've got After You, and I believe I had another one, unless I'm wrong. No, I think I might be wrong. But I've got After You. I'm sure there was a Me Before You. Maybe not. Maybe I thought I'd got it and I don't. But I've got 1+1, so that'll be another one that I get stuck into after a little while. What else have we got? We've got Jenny Colgan, West End Girls. That, I believe, was one that was abandoned somewhere. May have been a charity shop, that one. I can't remember where that one came from. But again, just one that I will try. I've got some Zella Greens by Vanessa Curtis that I'm going to try. I'm just going to read these off the shelf because it's easier. About a Girl, Lindsay Calk. I've got In Case You Missed It by Lindsay Calk as well. If We're Not Married by 30 by Annabelle. And a Tom Felton Beyond the Wand book, which is the Draco Malfoy character in Harry Potter. I then have a book that I did start reading, but I'm going to probably start it again, and it's called Looked After, A Childhood in Care, Ashley Dawn Baptiste. This was actually recommended to me in one of my panel trainings. I have pre-read it once before, but I am in the process of reading it again. That's why it's on my to-be-read shelf. I then have Thinking Again by Jacqueline Wilson, again an author that I've previously read lots of. I've got a Zoe Sugg and an Amy McCulloch. This is Magpie Society. Again, it's one that I'm just going to try. If I don't like it, then it's no harm done. Then I have Mr. Tom Parker, Hope, the gentleman that passed away from The Wanted. But yeah, he passed away in 2022, so it was 3 years ago now. But again, it'll just be a book that I, have a read through and see what kind of happened in his life, that kind of thing. What else have we got? We've got Stephanie Meyer. We've got the whole of the Twilight series there. I'm going to try and read those again when I have the chance. You may or may not be able to see these on camera. I have the 50 Shades of Grey books, which I'm going to try and get through as well. Taylor Reed Jenkins. These are books that I have wanted to read, but not quite got there yet. So there's 5 of those to read that are paperback versions, and then I have Atmosphere, which was brand new, and that is her latest one on this shelf as well. But at the moment, that is what I believe to be all of the books. Like I say, there are, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, So there are 43 books there on my to be read shelf. Again, I will see how I get on towards the end of the year. If I start reading a book and realise that I don't really like it, then I will just switch to another one. But a bit of a variety of genres to get through. And like I say, if I decide to, some of the books I will obviously be keeping, like this one I will definitely keep. If I read a book and think I'm not going to read it again, then I will redonate it or sell it, that kind of thing. But I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of books. If you are interested in seeing any of my reviews that I have been posting regarding the books I've read, they are on WordPress. I will make sure the link is in the description for you. But thank you very much for watching. Fingers crossed that the next update from me regarding books will probably be towards the end of the year now. And yeah, happy reading. I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now.